Before I play this video for you, I just want to let you know that the friends who have gifted me with wonderful things this Christmas, I am so grateful. I am not being ungrateful towards you at all. You have really brought me joy this week. This is more of a personal family things video about my feelings and just my general feelings about my life right now. Please don't take it as I'm not grateful to you. I am very grateful. I thank you for your gifts and I appreciate your friendship. And like I say in my video, my closest friends are like all over the place. You know, I can't be with you in North Carolina or California or Tennessee. You know, I wish we could all just be together in one place. Well, two of my best friends are in Tennessee and North Carolina, very, very close together. But my other best friend on YouTube lives in California, and it's just it's wonderful, but it's sad in a way. So I just wanted to put this in here, just so that you know, I'm not really talking about you when I say I feel so alone. I just feel alone in this environment right here in Vermont. I hate to be such a Debbie Downer, but these past 10 days have been so hard on me, and I've never felt so alone in all my life. I so much want to be in New York for Christmas. I've texted my cousin and asked him if he would come and get me and bring me to his house for Christmas because I'm just so tired of being lonely. I mean, I love it when they come up, you know. They came up for Thanksgiving, but Christmas is so special to me because it's my birthday and family has always been important to me. And now that I have one, I just want to be near them more and more. New York is so expensive to live in, but it would definitely be my dream to be able to move there one day, to be near my family and my best friend Kathy. That would be my wish, I tell you. It's just so hard. I've tried really, really hard to be strong up here in Vermont, doing things myself, dealing with the snow. Excuse me. We're expecting a big snowstorm this weekend. So I went out to the car and I put on all of my windshield covers in the front and in the back because I'm going back to work on Monday. So I don't want to have to take off 6 inches of snow off my car. It'll be on the roof and the hood, but at least it won't be on the windshields, you know. So I'm just, you know, I tried to be strong, you know, but I think that being sick for the past 10 days and dealing with a doctor's office that has been so inconsiderate and mean to me when I called the one day. I called the doctor one day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? Because I hadn't really had any chest pain, you know, with the pneumonia, believe it or not. It was just the horrible coughing and all of the fluid. So on Thursday, I called them up and I told them, I said, I'm having some chest pains and I'm not sure. I almost called the EMTs again, but then I said, oh, let's just call the doctor's office and see what they say. So I talked to a nurse and she grilled me for about a half an hour about my symptoms. And she said, sorry, my voice is acting up. She said, Well, I don't think it's a cardiac issue. You just need to rest and take your medicine. But I'll check with the nurse and I'll call you back. She never called me back. Very condescending, very nonchalant, like it was no big deal that I was in pain. I was diagnosed with pneumonia 2 days before, and her attitude was really, really shitty. So I went into the patient portal and I wrote a letter to my doctor and I complained about her. He writes me back and he says, well, your chest x-ray was normal. You don't have pneumonia. What? I was in the ER. I had a chest x-ray. And it said I have bilateral, which means both, mild, but bilateral lower lobe pneumonia. Now you tell me, who's correct in this? I don't think the radiologist is going to write a report lying about it. I mean, come on. So I think that the doctor probably got a little bit pissed off. He tried to call me, but I was taking a nap, and then he never called me again. I called yesterday because I thought I needed a doctor's note to go back to work. But I called yesterday and I said, no, wait, when did I call? Today's Friday, right? Yeah, I called yesterday and I said, I'm talking too much, that's why I need a note to go back to work. And they said, well, it was on Wednesday. They said, well, he's all booked up today and tomorrow and he doesn't work on Friday. And I said, well, what am I going to do? I need a note. They never called me back either. So I have a feeling that the doctor's just pissed off that I talked badly about one of his staff members and now he's just going to ignore me. I also asked him why, how can you say I don't have pneumonia when the radiology report says so? So he's probably in a tiff right now, but that's no excuse to ignore a patient. And I've been very happy with this doctor, so I don't understand that at all. I'm just going to let it blow over. I'm not going to cause any more stink. But that, dealing with that was hard, And after that happened, I told my cousin who lives up here, and she said, well, pneumonia's not a big deal in Vermont. What the hell does that mean? Pneumonia's not a big deal in Vermont? Whoever could say something like that? My husband died from complications of pneumonia, along with a septic infection, and he had a seizure. He died from several different things, but the main one was complications from pneumonia. So I tell you, this past week has just killed me and made me so sad, so angry. I've never felt so alone in all my life. And I was this bad in Nashville. The only good thing about coming up here was that I get to see my family who really care about me and love me several times a year when they come up for holidays. That's been the only good thing about it. I mean, it is a lot quieter, it's a lot more peaceful. I don't deal with 45-minute drives to work. But in the long run, I'm still alone, right? I may have my own apartment, which is amazing. I absolutely love it. That was a big plus. But I'm still alone, as long as I was in Nashville. The big deal really is that my cousin in New York really cares about me. He calls me and he checks on me. My cousin here texts me, but that's kind of the gist of it. And I just want to be near my family. I wish I could afford to live there, but I can't on my income. You think Vermont is expensive? Vermont and New York? New York is even more expensive, apparently. I was looking up apartment complexes and senior housing. Now, senior housing, they all have waiting lists, you know. So, I don't know. I just hope. I could drive to New York, but I just had my tires put on, and the mechanic said your brake pads are getting really, they really need to be replaced. And I said, ooh. So, I could be risking driving to New York. If my cousin isn't willing to come get me, I may just drive to New York because I don't want to be alone. It's so hard being alone for Christmas. It's always been hard being alone for Christmas since Dave died, you know. And after he died, I where did I go? I had to live with my friend twice. The first time when I first got there, she let me stay with her, but she made me get rid of my animals. So I had to give away my dog, who was my baby. She was my miniature pincher, and I had her from the day she was born. And my friend wouldn't let me have her at her house, so I had to give her to a neighbor who totally spoiled her and fed her human food, and she totally ruined our routine. You know, I would go to work, I'd come home, I'd take Missy, that was her name, Missy Lou. I'd take her for a walk, we'd come home, we'd go to bed. I'd put her puppy pads down during the day. We had a great routine going, you know. And then this neighbor friend decided she wanted to babysit Missy during the day so she wouldn't be alone. So she took Missy and totally, you know, wrecked our whole routine. Took her out every 10 minutes to go pee, and my cat Holiday, he was a sweetheart. He was a large cat. He was gray and white and he was beautiful. He would lay near me all the time. He would lay on top of me, and I had to give up my animals. You know, my animals were my life. And I had two apartments in Tennessee. I lost the last one because I lost my job. And then I had to live with people in their houses and apartments. I had to rent a room. So when I come up here, I was very happy to have my own place, which I've absolutely adored this place, as you know. I thought I would have my cousin, you know, to be with me a lot. Turned out she is a very vulnerable, weak person who doesn't handle things well, and she can only have company for so long, and then you have to leave. That was a shocker when I got up here. I got up here in July. I was having car trouble. I was having car trouble when I got up here. The car was not start, and we didn't know what was wrong with it. So her husband was coming over to try and help out because he was a mechanic. He couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. So he came over a couple of times to give me a trickle charge, some sort of thing that it has to be plugged in, and then you put it on your battery and it trickle charges it. And that never worked. So I went without a car for a while. How long was I without a car? Probably about a month or so. I got here on June 3rd, and all of July and all of part of August, I didn't have a car. And when my cousin from New York found out, he said, "You can't be without a car." He actually took care of the car for me. And I was grateful for that. And then right after that, I got a job at McDonald's. So my cousin from New York has always been there for me. He's always been, I think of him like a brother, although he couldn't be because he's only, he was born in August of 57 and I was born in December of 57. So, but he's always been there for me and just a sweetheart. And then a couple of things happened where my cousin just didn't want to deal with me, you know? Um, when we couldn't figure out what was with the car, she got pretty snotty with me and said, well, I can't have my husband coming over there all the time. And I understood that, but still. And so we didn't talk for like 2 or 3 months when I first got here because I was shocked by her attitude of me visiting. You know how most families are always at each other's house, always hanging out, you know? Even if your daughter lives elsewhere, she'll come over, she'll hang out with you, right? That's what families do. But no. I've been drinking milk like a bad girl. That's why I'm choking. I just missed it so much. And now I'm paying for it. But oh well. I knew it was going to happen, but I love my chocolate milk. So she just wasn't like that. It's like, okay, you can come over for a little while. And I would go over and I would be with her for about an hour, and she'll say, okay, that's all I can do. And then I would have to leave. That was a real shock to the system. And I just didn't get it, you know? And I told her, I said, I don't understand you. I said, we're family. I'm not company. And she got very offended by it. And she didn't talk to me for like 2 or 3 months. That's what I came up here to be with. A person who can only handle you for so long. And then if you get her mad, she just won't talk to you for a couple of months. I've never heard of anything like that in my life. And that's happened 3 times since I got here in 2018. The time when she refused to take me to get my car that was gifted to me, like an hour away from here, she told me to take a bus, that it was too far for her. Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff I've been dealing with since I got here. Um, I have no friends whatsoever in this place. No friends at all. Not that I had any friends in Nashville, but at least I had my landlord who was, I was living in her home, in her house. And, she took me to the movies a couple of times, and her granddaughter would come over and we'd, hang out and stuff. Then I come here and I'm in total isolation in the middle of nowhere. I mean, yeah. Wouldn't you go crazy like that? I've been going crazy. And as much as I love this apartment, you know how much I love this apartment. You know how much I love the peace and quiet up here. But if you don't have anybody to share it with, or if you do have somebody who's only 2 miles away, but doesn't want you over there or doesn't want to talk to you, it's kind of hard, you know? So I think I'm just going to concentrate this year on this coming year, trying to save up some money so I can move to New York and be with my family and my best friend. It is very expensive, but maybe if I start getting on waiting lists for senior housing or something, I may start doing that. Um, I'm going to be 64. We're all in the 64 club. And I can't see spending the rest of my life isolated like this. I liked it a lot for the first couple of years, because my marriage was so hard and living with Dave was so hard the past couple of years. I was just so happy to be alone. I'm still happy, I can do whatever I want. I can sleep when I want, blah, blah, blah. But I can do that anywhere, you know. If I'm near my friend Kathy, we would see each other all the time. She's that type of friend. We've been friends since sixth grade. So, anyway, I just needed to talk that out. And I'm hoping you don't mind. This is a vlog channel, and a lot of vloggers talk about their life and their feelings and their insecurities. And this is kind of what I'm dealing with right now. You know, the sad thing is that I have so many wonderful friends on YouTube, several friends who are really, really close to me. And they're in Tennessee, they're in California, North Carolina, all places that I really don't want to be, I want to be with my family. I'm here for them. So my Christmas birthday wish is to be closer to my family next year. There are other states between here and there. Massachusetts, possibly. I don't know. Just to be closer. Right now, I'm about 6 hours away from New York. So, 6 hour drive. So, anyway, that's what I've been feeling today. And just awaiting the snowstorm. Take care.